and get involved in your country, get involved in your children, get involved in the future, because not one of you out there made it by yourself. Grandmom, grandpa, pop, mom, somebody sacrificed to give you what you have. It didn't come automatic. Somebody had to sacrifice. Whether they sacrificed by financing you and feeding you for 10, 12 years, or, hey, some of the kids, they stay home till they're 30, 40, you know what I mean? That's because the system that we have here, the people do not have the job. They get degree. Can you imagine going to school 4 years, paying that exorbitant tuition, then coming out, then a year after you're out, there's no job, you know? What are you doing about that? You figure, say, well, I'm not running for office. That's the politician's job to make sure that the economy does it. But it's not their job. It's your job to make sure that they do their job. But when you have budget hearing, how many out there? Look in the mirror. Go to a budget hearing. Huh? Very few. But when the trash is not taken, or either the services doesn't come from the municipality, and then you say, first thing you want to do, and with a good example, the education system. How many of you go to a PTA meeting? How many of you take your children to PTA meeting? Let them see how the system works. Show them that they got to be participants in our system. That's what makes a strong government. Whether you are pro or con for anything, the fact is you got to be there in order to get your point. You can't get your point over if you're sitting at a ball game or you're sitting in a meeting with, well, I got to make money, in order to have these things, Well, then who suffers? What happens is your system suffers, and the most important thing is that your children suffer. If you don't have an educational system here that's functioning like it is, you don't have a system here that provides jobs for you to provide things for the future. Your children are the future. And this is what Patriots is all about. They're about the future. And we have the technology and the people, and we need volunteers to come out. I mean, anybody can do something if they're getting paid. But what this organization needs is volunteers to come out, and there's many of you out there that are retired professionals, and this is not just for college people. This is for your bricklayers, your all types of profession. Not the ones that you have to have PhD. Most of you out there, most people don't have a degree. If the country ran on people with degrees, we'd be in bad shape. It's that 9-to-5 guy, the guy that's going to work, getting up, working 8 hours a day. That's the backbone of our country and the system. And we have to provide everything for these people so they can function. So where do you start? You start with the young people. And the political system is set up so you're providing for the young people. But ask yourself, what have I done lately? Volunteered for anything, whether it's for grandma or either the kids next door or for the system. You don't have to wait till you're personally involved in something to go to a meeting concerning, I would say, the zoning. Or if it doesn't affect me, I'm not going. It doesn't bother. I live on the other side of the track, so I don't have to deal with that. That's the attitude. Some people say, well, they're putting that in the zoning. Well, they're putting it over there. As long as they don't put it in my neighborhood, you know what I mean? It's okay. You have to look at the total picture. And that's what most people don't do. If it doesn't affect them, then they don't want to be bothered with it. If it doesn't affect their children, as long as their children is in an educational environment that's number one, fine. The heck with the schools that don't have the types of things that children need, for education. Hey, the ones that really take a beating now is the teachers. Hey, right away, this first thing people say, well, let's say you're going to move in the neighborhood. You say, well, I want to make sure we have roads, we have commodities there that I like, the type of stores. I don't like certain stores. I want certain stores in my neighborhood. I don't want the riffraff. I don't want this type. I don't want that. But what they fail to realize is that, hey, what have they done? When the zoning here in parking plans, excellent example. When zoning hearings come, and they work 8, 9 hours and come in at zoning hearing at 7 o'clock. No, I'm too tired, man. I got to go to work. I got to get up in the morning. Okay, when they put the wrong thing, whether it's housing, whether it's a business, or they put that glue factory there, or put something that you feel, I don't want to be in a neighborhood with that type of development. Okay, you don't want to be there, so what do? You volunteer and go to the meetings of park and planning, whatever it is, the council meeting. When you see positive things happening in the neighborhood, there's a few people that are, and they call them politicians, that are really interested in making sure there's a balance of everything in everybody's neighborhood. So hey, how do you get rid of the slums? How do you do those things, huh? You first of all, when you get ready to buy, you make sure your house is not in a certain area, that you have all the amenities, that you don't have to go over in another county or another city to get the things that you want. Why can't you get it in your neighborhood? The reason you can't get it, because when their zoning comes up, what do? Oh, no, I don't have time for that, And then when the bricks and the mortar start going up, hey, what's this they have in my neighborhood? We can't do this. What we have to do, we have to go and protest this. We go to court, make sure that they're not going to have this in my neighborhood. They could have it in yours, but not mine, see? Or what we have to do, look at the balance. The same thing with jobs, As long as you have a six-figure job, everything's fine, But what about the homeless people? Okay, you have to deal with that. In every society, everybody's not equal. So the ones that have to help the have-nots. The have-nots. That's it. It's a lot of have-nots. Most of us, what we try to do is steer away from the have-nots. I want to be one of those haves, But anyway, the main thing about the show is that I'm going to bring you some ideas of really what the political system is doing and not doing, But basically, the positive things never come out. Every time that glue factory comes up or somebody zone something in your neighborhood or they raise the taxes or something like that. Hey, what about taxes being raised? People don't holler, they don't yell until the taxes are raised. But when they have the budget hearing and they're talking about raising the taxes, where are they? They're at a ball game at Aunt Susie's, They don't have time for that. So involvement is the key. And like I like to emphasize once again, that the Patriots program is a program that actually the youth and the evolutionary elders, these are mentors for these youngsters. And I tell you, whether you go to the program May 7th, which the county exec, Rashawn Baker, and Mr. Jones, the president of Patriots, whether you go there or not, go down to Seat Pleasant. That's where at the Bank American building, they have voluntarily given Patriots space. That's at Seat Pleasant Drive and George Palmer Highway. So the next time you think about it, go down and volunteer for something. And you mentors out there, you retired professional and non-professional, we need the bricklayers, we need the electrician, we need all of you to come down to the Patriots to help the future of this country. Okay, this is Ed Brown. Hey, we're going to have another outstanding political system that's working beautifully here in Prince George's County. See you next time. Hi, how you doing now? This is the program, the Patriots Technology Training Center. Like I told you, that's in Seat Pleasant. Now, the Honorable Chairman Rashid Baker of the County Executive of Prince George County, he's going to present. Now, I didn't tell you, okay, here it is. You can get your pencil, write this thing down on the path to greatness. What does that mean? They're going to have 1,000 students and 1,000 parents. And what happens is having that on this theme on the path to greatness. This is for students, robotic, graphic design, video gaming, flight simulation, sea perch, robotics, biomedical. And for parents, we have partnering with federal agencies to pay for college and gain employment during and after college. Partnering with organizations that have your career focus. Now, these are things for parents now. That's why I emphasize, and there's going to be many more things there. And they're going to have all types of competition for these. The social media Jeopardy game, they're going to have 8 high school teams. The computer competition hosted by Best Buy, they're going to have 10 teams of 4 students. Each member of the winning team will receive a computer. So, hey, I mean, you really need to get with this, because this all you have to do is going to be held at Charles Flowers High School. That's it. You know where Ardmore Arwick Road? Off of Palmer Highway, you're right to Charles Flowers. And you know, Charles Flowers was the Tuskegee Airman that the school was named after. It's a beautiful school. You need to go over there, make the trip. They're going to have all sorts of corporate sponsors at B&E System, Lockheed. They're going to have Verizon, IBM. These are corporate. Microsoft, Best Buy, government. They're going to have Prince George County government, Department of Defense, Navy, CIA, Air Force, U.S. Navy Academy, the Naval Sea System. You know, the sea system, you heard about the sea system, you know, with the SEALs. You know, they do a good job. All right, then, Department of Energy, Center for Information Technology, and the National Library of Medicine. These are just some of the people, sponsors, and exhibits going to be there. So you're really going to miss something if you don't get there, because you have terrific sponsors there. And it's going to be May 7th, okay, 2011, but 7:30 to 4. But if, in fact, you're not able to make it, what you have to realize, go down to Seat Pleasant. That's at Seat Pleasant Drive and George Palmer Highway at the Bank of America building. That's where the Patriots, that's where they operate.